Hello and hi Kay, how are you?
Hi, hi, Diane.
So we are here today to talk about why you decided to join the Braver Together Mastermind and what you were doing before that. So give us a little peek inside how you ended up finding me and started coaching. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So my name is Kay, and prior to joining your mastermind, I had been watching Diane for a real long time as she was building her business, watching you, watching how you spoke to women, watching how you empowered women. And what was happening to me was that during that time period, I was transforming my life. I was talking about all the things that had been happening to me and that I was a part of. And I found attractive women who felt empowered to be their authentic self. And I just gravitated towards them. And
Mhm.
I wanted to know what they were doing, why they were this way. I wanted to know their story. And
Mhm.
so I started going out for coffees and for lunches and for dinners. And I followed these women around and I wanted what they had, Diane. I wanted what they had. And they knew that they wanted to live a bolder, brighter, shinier life
Mhm.
than they had been. And so I took all of their tools and all of their ability to be really just so self honest about what they wanted for themselves. And it attracted me that I wanted to be around people like that. So you became one of those people that I just kind of kept in my peripheral vision.
Mhm.
And we were friends for quite a while. And I kept watching you as you were putting yourself out there, living your authentic life, wanting people to be brave and wanting to women to just be who they are in the business world, in the entrepreneur world. And so what also happened was that people kept telling me, you have some kind of gift, Kay. You've got
Mhm.
something that other people want. You
Yeah.
have the ability to listen, to validate, to share your story. And then you have this unique perspective of just sharing your experience, and that empowers other women to want to do the same thing too. But your wisdom, meaning your wisdom, Kay, is something that you need to step into.
Mhm.
And so the very thing that these women were doing, I was just walking into it myself. And so that's what I was doing prior to when I got into where we started talking about joining Mastermind.
Mhm. Mhm. And you actually started out before you joined the mastermind. We did a Voxer month, and that kind of gave you some, and some women start like that. Some women come straight to the mastermind, some jumped in with the Voxer month. And so you ended up doing that, and that was about a year ago.
Mhm.
It was summer of last year. And then you took your leap into the mastermind in March.
Mhm.
So tell me and tell our listeners, what made you decide to jump into the mastermind after kind of following and being a part of my world for a while? What gave you that courage to join Braver Together Mastermind?
Great question. So I needed to, during that time period, exhaust all the other things that I thought that I needed to check out. I needed to be a real estate agent. I needed to maybe get back into the corporate world because I still thought that I need to have this legitimate job. And
Hmm.
this, I can't possibly be this imposter that's going to be a life recovery coach. And so you did the beautiful thing of just listening to me while we were on Boxer as I went through all of that. And then I decided that I wanted to take that jump. And then I listened to those old voices and I went back the other way and said, I'm going to go the corporate way. And so you again came to me around January and February and said, where are we at with all this? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing this. And we had a long, hard, beautiful talk about where Kay wants to be. Who do I want to be? How do I want to live my life? And then the invitation was given for you to ask me to be kind of a mentor. I think you just had me be kind of like a cohort with you in your mastermind. And I watched you as you got on these really great calls with women that were in your mastermind, and how you listened and validated, encouraged, but those women had their own language about how they were living this bold coaching life.
Mhm.
And it blew my mind. And within 3 days of actually going to the mastermind, which you had put together for all of us, I said, I'm already in. And I knew that I was going to do it, Diane. I knew that I wanted to. It was just that I needed to go through, I had to exhaust all the other, methods and all the other ways that I thought that I should be living my life before I could commit then.
Mm. I love that. I love that because that when we sometimes we just know. And
Yes.
it's I feel that way too. It's like, oh, I know I'm going to work with that coach and be in that group. And like, I just haven't decided all which way or where or how or which button to push.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just this knowing. And also I love that sometimes we have to go the opposite way. I've done it. I've done it many times.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I thought I needed to go back and be a counselor. You know the story. I went running back that direction and then realized I don't need to go there. I need to like really lock in and be here. I need to be here. And here is where you are, where in we are called to be coaches, mentors, leaders, teachers, gatherers of people, gatherers of the women. Um,
I also knew, Diane, that I could not do this alone,
mhm.
and that I was trying to do it alone for a real long time, thinking that I could figure this out and figure this out. And then you were still on my radar. It was always, I've got Diane, and then I was always joining a couple of other things that you had. And then when I took that leap, it was just like, oh my gosh, okay, this is where I know I'm going to be supported, but I'm also going to be challenged and pushed. And I knew I needed that because there's still stuff back there that I need to let out and and overcome, so that I'm not thinking that I don't have what it takes, because I do have a special gift and I want to share that with other women.
Yeah, and the world needs you, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, we do. Yes, they
And
do.
the world needs me and the world needs you, and there's not scarcity. There's plenty of people in the world that need exactly what we
Exactly.
have.
Yes.
And so what would you say to a woman who is out there listening, watching, and she hasn't joined Braver Together Mastermind, and I call us Braver Together Women. We wear bracelets. We wear bracelets. And so what would you say to that woman? The woman you were not that long ago. What has been so helpful, and what would you say to her about taking that leap?
Yeah. Thank you for that. I had to go through all the things I had to go through to get to where I'm at right now.
Mhm.
And so, what I would say to them is exhaust yourself to do all the things that you think you can cookie cutter yourself into. If you think that you can be this person in the business world or in the corporate world or the entrepreneur world, do it. And then once you've checked that off, really decide, do you want to know who you are and how your value can be put out into the world? Do
Mhm.
you want to live this really authentic life? And if you don't know how to get there, what I've found is that coming to Diane's group, this beautiful, engaging, supportive mastermind, has pushed me in places that I would have never dreamed that I would have found who I am and what I have as far as my purpose then.
Mhm.
Because basically, I don't know what I'm doing at any given day, but Diane does know what she's doing. And so having that sounding board where someone says, yeah, I know, I've got you on that. Or, hey, you're going to choose this platform versus this one because I've been through all of that, is so empowering to take care of the administrative part of it, where I can just then be a coach and get with women, because that business side of it is really scary. And somebody like Diane knows all of that and has been through all the different changes and the updates and whatever it may be. So I would just suggest that you exhaust yourself. But if you want to know who you are while being supported and being challenged to know who you are, getting into this mastermind was probably the one of the best things that I've done in the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years, besides, maybe some other really important life changes. I got a divorce, and I thought that was the worst thing that ever happened to me. And it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh my gosh. Well, I understand that. I understand that concept. I mean, and one of the really amazing things about the mastermind, and people, I just want to add, we don't have to exhaust ourselves. We can, but I mean, we've all done that. But what I want to do for you and everybody is to condense time. Right. And I believe that, the power of the mastermind is that it's not just you and me sitting there talking, and that's the magnificent part of it, is that if we don't know, she knows, and or she knows somebody that does know, and that we can just condense time. I love to move fast, you know that. And the mastermind is really built on, courage and action and consistency, but we do it together. We do it together. And that's really what I love. It's why I love having you in there. It's why I love having all the others. And we're excited about those that are coming, because we know that we're all going to watch them grow. We're going to grow because they're with us. We're going to learn things from them that we don't know. It's just so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah. And for me, even the, the place of where I was at to the accelerated place that I'm at right now would have never happened on my own, And, to be at the place where I'm launching my own website, which is kaynolencoach.com, that ability to sit patiently, and then also to have those moments of like, okay, here's that big breakthrough where we know exactly what we want. That all came through having other women look at my website, give me feedback, constantly making things transparent so that I know that we're all in this together, and that's something that I know is that part of my growth, is that I can't stay alone. I have to have other people be with me as I'm going through this change into who I really want to be and how I want to serve other women.
So I just thought of one final question.
Sure.
What is a Braver Together woman?
Oh, a Braver Together woman is someone that I have become. And I've become that because I'm willing to say what's going on in my head and in my thoughts. And the community that I've made, as far as what I had prior to coming into Mastermind, was huge and big and bold. But the women that I have now in Mastermind, I know I've got the one person who has been through relationship issues, and I can go to her. I have one who is building a career based on childcare. And it's not that we're all in the same, industry. We're all in different industries. And I'm fascinated, and I'm learning so much about how other women are building their business. And it's not just in the same authentic business that I'm building, but they're building it in the same way. So a brave woman is someone who is willing to be vulnerable and open and transparent with other women about where they're at. Diane has this thing called a hot seat, which is wonderful to watch, but it's hard to be in. And that hot seat is where we start talking about what's holding you back.
Yeah.
What's the fear that's going on there? And she has a unique perspective on and a unique way of gathering that information so that it comes to you in your own words and in your own way.
Mm,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank
Well,
you.
I know we are braver together. We say that, and it's kind of my little mantra, but you and I get to live it. We get to live it.
Yes,
And so thank you so much for coming on here today. And I'm super proud of you.
thank you. I'm super proud of you, honey. I'm glad to be a part of this. You had me at, I don't know, brave, so many words, brave, authentic, empowered, entrepreneur, all of it. And it's been an honor and a privilege to watch you for so many years, but it's an honor and privilege even now to be in it and doing it. So
Mhm.
this has been great.
Awesome. All right. Thanks,
Okay.
Kaye.
Thank you.